All right. Now, a couple things have been changed. When it comes to the Stitcher and stuff like that. So we're gonna pull up the patch notes because yeah, we need to know. We need to know it straight from the horse's mouth. Everybody's made some pretty graphics and this, that, and the third, and blase, and doo doo meat, poo poo feet, and poop doo doo meat, and all that stuff. All the stuff, right? But let's actually see what's going on. All right, as of 4:05 a.m., shrouded sky. Violent hurricanes are sweeping across topside, forcing new strategies for low visibility combat. Powerful gales, wow, hurling debris. Scouts have spotted 2 new archetypes in the Rust Belt. We advise caution while the storm runs its course, but those who know how to read the weather will find the opportunity in the chaos. Hurricane map conditions, amazing. 2 new arc enemy types, awesome. The weather monitoring system, seasonal player project, free raider deck, damn battlegrounds map update. What do they do to damn battlegrounds? Expedition window, facial hair customization. It's bare with the facial hair customization, but I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. We're excited about it. What up? What you smell? But yeah, this is a lot of stuff. All right, so we did weapons balance change. So in 1.13, we shipped an update that included the optimization to fix our weapons. But as many of you noticed, this had an unforeseen consequence of lowering the total fire rate for semi-automatic weapons. You know, semi-automatic, we're talking about the Beretta, we're talking about the Venator, we're talking about the Kettle, a lot of different weapons there. Many of you have reported a shadow buff to the weapons, and after investigating it, we found that 1.13.1 had inadvertently impacted the weapon input buffers. Where you previously would have to time your inputs to the intended cadence of the weapon to reach its full potential, you now could instead spam click the button. I noticed that. And I didn't say anything about it, and I should have. I noticed that when I would shoot a not so much a semi-automatic, but even a like a Stitcher. If I shot a Stitcher at a wasp, I noticed that if I mag dumped it, I wouldn't kill it. But if I kind of like, like that, I would be knocking propellers off and I would get rid of it. I actually did notice that. That's crazy. But let's actually talk about this. Oh, they nerfed the Stitcher. Oh, they nerfed it. They neutered the Stitcher. Why? The Stitcher has played its role as well as a close quarter weapon that rewards thoughtful positioning, but we found that its fast time to kill can sometimes lead to situations where you're ambushed and killed before you have much time to react. As many of you have pointed out, the headshot damage is a large contributor to the problem. The time to kill is often fine when the weapon is aimed at center mass, but when you get close enough to land the majority of shots in your target's head, you see time to kill numbers that are much faster than other weapons. My thing is, normally when I get ambushed, this is kind of messed up. When I get ambushed, right? I'm getting shot in the face with a Stitcher, not me shooting the other person in the face with a Stitcher. Or, no, that's backwards. I'm shooting the other person in the face with a Stitcher when I get ambushed, and that gives me a chance to get out of there versus me getting shot in the face with a Stitcher when I get ambushed. Because normally the guys are kind of nervous. You know what I'm saying? They're like, you've been sitting in a hole the whole game, and now somebody's there. You're like, oh yeah, let's go. You know what I mean? When you're just trying to get out. So normally I'm the one who is shooting somebody in the face with a Stitcher, trying to get them off of me or my teammate or whatever. But I don't know. We'll figure it out. We will figure it out. So they're making it bloom more. Let me show y'all can see what's going on too. We'll give the YouTube one. Yeah. But yeah, basically they're making it bloom faster, not more, but faster. Increased per shot dispersion by around 50%. They're just moving the sliders, man. Hey, listen, this is the multiplayer game of the year, so they know what they're doing. Vince McMahon used to say, "You don't know what you want. I know what you want," and we're gonna find out. The kettle, reduced base damage from 10 to 8.5. They want I feel like what they want is for interactions to take longer than it's been taking. I think that's what it is. Dev notes is he nerfed it again. Yikes. Since the last nerfs to the Venator in 1.3, we've kept an eye on our data to see how it performed. During this time, many of you raised concerns that it's still dominating in PvP. What's wrong with that, though? It's a blue gun. And our data has shown that it is one of the highest performing weapons in the game right now. For a weapon of this tier, we want it to perform well, but maybe not this well. We're looking at an overall nerf to his damage to bring down his time to kill. And if that doesn't work, we might need to look into ammo consumption and cost efficiency. All right, so chat, all right. I don't want to start treating Embark like I treated Battle State. And what I mean by that is, I don't want to prep for you to hold me. And what I mean by that, so the Venator, right? I got a lot of them. You can see them here. I got quite a few Venators. I don't really use them as much as this bad boy right here. This thing is beautiful, man. I hope they don't touch my Renegade. But like, I don't use them as much. But what this is showing me is that they have the eyes on the Venator. So what you need to do is make as many as you can after Expedition, so you can have them. Because they said if it keeps doing as well as it is doing, then they're going to make it either more expensive, harder to make, or reduce the ammo consumption. Can't do anything about the ammo consumption aspect, but when it comes to making it harder and more expensive, I mean, if you already have them, they're not going to take them from you. Jupiter. In PvP, the Jupiter does the most headshot damage in the game. In PvP, you get what? I had no idea. But it's quite difficult to hit headshots with at long ranges. So, you can't see me. I gotta move back. We'll also turn the filter off of this, I guess. Give it a second. Is it not filtered? Is it? It's not. How the heck did I do this? Can you turn it on? Yeah, it's kind of on now. All right. Fixed it. So now I had no idea that the Jupiter did the most headshot damage in the game. I just got the Jupiter blueprint like 3 weeks ago. No cap. You're also quite vulnerable when you use it in closer ranges, since missing one shot will make you a sitting target until you either reload or swap weapons. We're increasing how much you zoom when you use ADS, aim down sights, to give you a better view of targets. Of the target you're trying to hit. And we're reducing its equip and unequip time to make it easier to swap to a secondary weapon and follow up your shot. Well, that's cool. They buffed that. Jupiter gets a buff. Aphelion, we weren't quite happy with the previous balancing of the Aphelion. It was intended to be a more PvP focused legendary weapon. I just assumed, chat, I assumed that if it looked like this, it was for art. That's what I assumed. I'm so glad I read the patch. I never read the patch notes. I always just go in there blind. I had no idea. I just assumed it was for art. That is crazy. Legendary weapon, but it couldn't quite keep up with the pacing of many of the other PvP weapons. We made some changes and made it feel less bulky and quite a bit more nimble to use to make it more viable in PvP. Okay, item crafting now available by default and work. A lot of people are gonna be happy about that. A lot of people are gonna be happy about the energy clip being able to default workbench. That's cool. That's cool. A lot of people are gonna take advantage of it too, because if we could just make it in workbench, a lot of people are gonna make a lot of money for the expedition just by crafting the energy ammo. All right, deadline value base from 5,000 to 6,000. Trader price increased from dang. Added new arc part as crafting cost. Trailblazer value, dang. Wolfpack from 5 to 6. Added Rocketeer, yikes. Body spray increased from 3 to 3,400. Added tick pod, because you got it like the little. Nah, that's kind of cool. Showstopper value decreased from 22 to 21. Added 100 drop. Why would? Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Why would you decrease the value and then add something else to craft it? Change crafting component from advanced electrical component to electrical components. Is that a electrical components makes them easier to craft with the Hornet? I don't know, man. I don't know. Achievements, fix an issue where blindsided achievements sometimes did not trigger as intended on the first attempt. Fix various animation issues while vaulting. Fix an issue where some weapons didn't drop magazines during reloads. People care about that. It's crazy. Fix an issue. I played a game called GTA Roleplay, bro. Like that, bro. You want to talk about what is it called? Suspension of disbelief. Polish, equip animation for pistols and hand cannons to better match timing and reduce visual popping when switching from unarmed. Okay, whole bunch of stuff. All right, now let's go to audio. Audio is a big deal. Limit bullet sound effects per trigger pull on burst weapons to the burst size to prevent extra shots from playing. Reduce audio stuttering on low spec PCs for smoother, more consistent sound during gameplay. Lowered non-radio voice volumes in game dialogue. So that means it's going to be harder to hear. Don't shoot. Hey, Raider. Lowered non-radio voice volume. Yeah, that's what that means. Fix an issue where sliding on stairs or debris could cause audio stutters. Okay. Shorten, reduce overall volume and rebalance the menu, SFX, and music mix for more comfortable sprints experience. Shorten 1-2 deployment music track that lingered for too long in session. Yeah, I did notice that. I noticed it, like, but my music is turned down quite a bit. But I was like, is there still music playing? That was just one time I noticed it. I didn't notice all the others. Birds perched on zip lines now screech with correct positional audio when startled. I didn't notice they didn't. Gameplay added a piano as interactive. That's fire. They added the piano as an interactable object in the world. That's pretty cool. Holding continuous interaction now cancel when equipping another item or weapon. Fix an issue where players could become unable to move after being revived with a defib. I'd be distraught, bro. I'd be general point to fix popping issues. All right, well, cool. Blue Gate improved. Oh, hold on. We had actual maps. So I fixed broken interactions near the top of certain ladders. Fix missing collision on several environmental props to reduce clipping and unintended traversal. General lighting fixes across different maps. The chance of finding rare loot in chimneys has been lowered slightly during Bird City. I didn't know you could even find rare loot in chimneys, bruh. That's why people have been going to Bird. I was like, Bird City is dog crap. Now I get why. All right, let's see. Fix multiple collision issues on Solomontes lobby, atrium, loading bay, train station tunnels, speed vault to prevent players from reaching out of bounds areas. The unstuck function and to address shots coming from the lobby ceiling. That's cool. No, not Berry City, bro. Bird City. You know Berry City, but with the birds. I thought that was doo-doo meat, bro. No cap. I didn't know it was like that. Yeah, they said, am I tripping? It said Bird. Yeah, Bird City. It is in Berry City, but it's called Berry. Yeah, it's like where the event happens. But yeah, you're right. Berry City is loot heavy. I just never, I didn't understand why people. I knew they had the new augments or whatever, but I wasn't really too crazy about the augment. So I thought that was why they were running to Bird City as much. But yeah, so basically they stop people from being able to get in the ceiling. Adjusted night lighting on Stella to improve visibility in darker areas. I don't like that. I don't like that. Yeah, that is true. That is true. Oh snap, you can't put the bridge back up anymore. Smell? Fix an issue where lowered spillway bridges still displayed an interaction prompt. Interaction is now correctly disabled and the bridge is down. Fix an issue that allowed players to get on top of metro trains. Oh my goodness. What? You can now re-roll feats 3 times per day. Remove PvP feats, updated a few existing feats and added new ones. Dang, so they're not gonna give you credit. They're not gonna give you credit for like rating a down player anymore and stuff like that. They really not rocking with the okay. Man, this is a big update. Let's see what's up with the anti-cheat. When we shared our last update about tackling unfair play, we didn't fully convey the complexity and scale of what goes into cheat detection. Our defenses operate on multiple levels. Some checks are simply and definitive. Some checks are simple and definitive, while others are behavioral and data-driven and evolve over time. We also leverage broad gameplay telemetry and machine learning techniques to spot patterns that aren't obvious at first glance. These methods take longer to develop, must adapt as game systems change, and don't always offer instant certainty the way blunt software detections can. We recently taken actions against different exploits, and we are further tightening our rules and stepping up enforcement. Serious infractions now carry stricter consequences. Strong detections will receive permanent bans right off the bat, while others will receive temporary suspensions and single chance to correct the behavior. Recent updates to family sharing have strengthened our ability to curb misconduct and streamlined the removal of bad actors from the game. We are preparing to launch a systematic manual review of ban repeals. The game is young and volume of telemetry is enormous, but this process ensures every case is handled with care as we continue to learn quickly and invest heavily in the precision of our enforcement tools. This is what needs to happen. Facts. This is what needs to happen. Smell, this is what we need to do. What we need to do is to start an anti-cheat company, right? And all we do is go over the data and ban appeals, bro. That's it. You and me, bro. Let's do it. Money. Money, 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 bro. Dollars. That's it, gang. And then the companies have a scapegoat. Embark would be like, hey, you got banned forever. It's not us. Blame the conglomerate. There are anti-cheat, you know what I'm saying? Money dollars, bro. But yeah. Awesome update. This is what I like. What I like are the fact that I found out that the fact that I found out that the legendary guns are for PvP. Had no idea. I don't like the fact that they nerfed the Stitcher. What I feel like they need to do is buff the Bobcat, right? Don't nerf the Stitcher, buff the Bobcat and make it more expensive. Make you have to grind harder to get it, in my opinion. Yeah, that's all I really got. That's it. I don't like they nerfed the Stitcher. I don't like they nerfed the Kettle either. But I mean, I feel like they dang near neutered the Stitcher, bro. I feel like they neutered the Stitcher. But great game. Great game. Great game. Great game. All right, let's get to work. Let's get to work. Let's get in the game.